I'm coming back to you. Many thanks for this great Unplugged show. It was very, very exceptional for me. And I would like to know a little bit about your career. Yes, it's better between.
All on the same
Just,
vibrations.
yeah, yes, yes,
Okay.
it is. And I would like to know a little bit more about you, Veronique, and you, Timo. And first question for you, Veronique. When did you begin to sing, and did you took lessons to sing, or it's a natural?
Okay, do you want me
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
answer in English?
Yes. If
Oh,
you want.
okay. Okay. I began to sing many, 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 many years ago, but I didn't take any lessons. You know, I just did it like this by ear, hearing the music and doing the best I could. I only began to work on my voice for, I mean, 2 years, approximately 1 year maybe, and because it was very interesting for me to notice how far I could go with my voice and what was the different possibilities I could have with my voice. And that's a very interesting work, you know.
Thank you. And I would like to know, do you play instruments?
A little bit. Sadly, a little bit, because I think one life is not enough to play every instrument that I would like to play. But I try to work, yes, a little bit saxophone tenor and harp, harmonica. It's not that easy, but I'm working on it.
And today you have a new album, an album now introduced in Germany.
Yes.
I knew it since I met you in Saarbrücken,
Right.
Sonntagsanschluss, and this
Well,
album.
we'll be back this year.
Yeah.
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 You'll be back this
Yes,
year.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
It's a good information.
Ah.
I would like to translate in French. Pour nos amis français à Sarrebruck, tous les ans, à partir de la mi-juin jusque fin août, il y a 3 shows, notamment à 11 heures, un show consacré au blues. Et donc, la municipalité, le ministère de la Culture, invite donc des bluesmen venus d'un peu partout sur la planète. Mais ces dernières années, ils nous font découvrir le blues allemand qui est très riche et c'est vraiment très bien. Et donc, l'information que cette année, on retrouvera Timo avec Véronique à nouveau. Donc, ça sera encore un grand plaisir certainement de vous rencontrer.
Yeah.
And today you have an album, I said, out in Germany. I saw the critics on Good Times magazine. And about this album, is your first one?
I can say it's the first one with my name, because I used to play with blues bands and so on, but never with my own name. And that was the idea of Timo, who said, Veronique, would you like to that we work together on your own album? And I thought, yes, maybe now, today, I'm ready. Because I think I was not ready earlier to do this on my own name. So now was the time.
And what was the name of your blues band?
Barking Jack Blues Band.
Did you release CDs with your band? No.
Did you what?
Did you release CDs, something with this band?
Yes, yes. So we had a live CD from the Blues Club in Baden-Baden, where we had a nice live playing just before Timo Gross band. And then we did another one in studio. Yes, that was quite
It
nice.
was a band
Only
with,
covers. Only covers.
only covers with French, German musicians, or
Only French. Only French.
And who did you met, Timo?
Timo was just a friend of our guitarist in Barking Jack Blues Band.
Yes.
And it was the idea for you to make an album together. And this album is called White Cat. We got it,
Yes, it is.
here.
Do you want me to? Okay.
Yes. And who write the songs and the lyrics of this album?
I wrote the lyrics, and I gave to Timo some ideas from melody, and Timo took that and did so great job because it was always what I waited, if maybe more than I could ever expect, you know.
And you only use original numbers.
Yes, it's just originals, yes.
And this album is on Grand Cru Records. It's a German brand. It's your own.
It's my label, yes.
Yes.
It's just distributed in acoustic in Germany and will be distributed by peers in France.
Yeah, acoustic is a great distribution
Yes.
in Germany. I know
Yeah.
this one. But this album is called Wildcat. Who is a Wildcat? You?
No, me.
You.
Of course, he is the white cat.
And I suppose this album was ready for last summer. Maybe you are working on a new one, no?
For instance,
No, not yet.
No, I think now what is
You have the
important is to
promotion
make
of
it
this one.
live on the stage.
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember the fantastic show you have done last year at Sonntagsschluss, and especially the cover of James Brown, It's Man's World. You still use covers on stage?
Yes, of course.
Do you still use
Yes,
covers
yes,
on
Yes,
stage?
yes, we did a few covers. Yes, of course, because just want to share with the public the songs that we like and we love, and that's great. And Men's World is one of these.
Maybe if there will be a next album, then we have enough own songs.
You choose some covers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been chosen some covers that would fit nicely into the originals. Yeah.
And the actuality is now this album.
Yeah.
Can we find this album in France? There is a distribution in
Yes,
France?
I said it will be distributed by peers, and in France it will be released on the 15th of March.
Soon, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
soon, yeah.
Oh, it's nice. And now we are going to talk about the scene. You have some plans for live show? Live show in France, in Germany, in Europe, or I don't know where.
You mean if we got a proclamation for the next program? Yes, of course. We got dates and concert in Germany, and got some good places in France too. There's a big festival. Maybe I must present it because it's the first time that it lives now in France. It's Vosges Estival Moto. Wait, dans l'ordre. Moto Vosges Estival, and it's on the 7, 8, and 9 of June. And it's a very great festival where you can find a very great guitarist, harmonicist.
Is it Saint-Dié or Gérardmer?
Yes,
Saint-Dié.
Saint-Dié.
You're going to play with a friend of me, Manu Lanvin. He's
Of course,
playing, yeah,
and the
yes.
Devil Blues, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I make the promotion of his last album. Yeah, it's
Just
a
play
good.
just before Axel Bauer.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then Manu
yeah,
Lanvin.
yeah,
That's a great stage.
Oh,
no?
yeah, yes. Well, we will try to be there. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Nice, because I'm covering 4 or 5 concerts per week, and why not? Yeah, yes. Manu asked me to come. Well,
And we ask you to come too.
I don't knew the program, but
Yes,
now
you
I know.
now
I
you
know
know.
you're playing there. But before knowing you, Veronique, I knew from a long time, but we never especially spoke together. I don't remember TIMO, because I met him several times in Germany, especially he played around Saarland in Freudenburg. Freudenburg is not Saarland, but it's close, and with great guitarists like Gregor Hilden, like Richie Hunt, and you release album together.
Yeah.
And very, very great souvenir of this show in Duxal. But you have a long career as musician,
Yes.
and I suppose you have a lot of albums.
Yeah, so I released my first album under my own name in 2005. And after this, I made 8 albums as TIMO. Last album came out 2016. Name of this album is Heavy Soul. Plus these 3 collaborations with Gregor Hilden, Richie Arndt, and another very well-known guitar player, Alex Conti from Lake. And besides this, you know, I've been producing Veronique's album. I did produce some other blues artists in Germany, like Johnny Rieger, Marius Tilly. Also guys.
I was in contact with Jimmy Ryder, you know him?
Jimmy Ryder I never met personally so far, but
Yeah.
of course I know who he is, and he knows.
Because he
who
got
I
a
am.
new album and
I saw
sent
that,
it to
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The blues and rock, etc. The music scene is very rich in Germany, and I like very much because I like to go everywhere. Because I have some program jazz too.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago we had a band from Pierre Masson. Pierre Masson, it's not so far to here, and you are very busy because you play guitar, you have album, you produce musicians, and guitar is the only instrument you play, or you play other instruments?
No, it's on this album I played nearly everything. You know. Yeah.
And you have a great band. And
Yes.
I don't knew, because I met you last year, and I don't knew, oh, you are coming today. It's a good surprise, but it is a nice surprise, because something different, Unplugged show, it's always interesting. And for me, it's something new to compare to what I have seen last year. And Timo, you have a very great band.
I love to play these unplugged things, and I also play a lot of solo shows. Did this over the years, and of course it's a much more intimate thing. So if you just have this really rough, dry acoustic guitar, without an amplifier. So
it's the origin of the blues,
it's
too.
the origin of all music, probably.
Yeah.
So of all music, not just the blues. But of course, I also love to play very hard and very loud. So it depends on the occasion, and yeah, I like everything, both.
But I remember your last band last year is fantastic. You have an organ player, incredible.
Markus
Bass
Lauer,
player
Markus,
too.
Markus Lauer is he played like nearly on all of my albums since 2005, and I know Markus now for 30 years at least, and we always on and off we've been playing together. Yeah.
And you still have the same band.
Yes, yeah, we still have the same band.
And you said your last album is from 2016. I suppose you are working on a new one, no?
Oh, I got so much material at home, so it's
Dans les tiroirs?
yeah. Also, I could release at least 2 or 3 live albums. What I did, and I'm always constantly working on songs. I have my studio, like you have your studio here.
Yeah.
So I have my studio in my house, and so whenever I'm in the mood, I can just go down to the basement. I'm in the studio.
It's
ready
very
to
interesting
record.
because
Yeah.
you're working home and you have your home studio. It's a great thing, yeah.
And it's like, so over the years I did so many different things. I mean, since everything, even if it's old handmade music, all these things are nowadays, most of the time are recorded digitally, and this means, so I can just grab my MacBook. I could come down here to your basement, so within 2 hours I'd be ready to record a band. And I love this idea of field recording. So I remember for my 3rd album I was on tour in Scotland, and I was running late with the release of the album, and I didn't have the vocal tracks ready. And I recorded all vocal tracks of this album in a caravan in Scotland with a view on the Northern Sea. And whenever I had a minute off, I had my laptop with me, could record, and if you hear the solo, the vocal track solo, you can hear my fellow guitar player washing the dishes in the back.
It's nice. Yes, yes.
So I mean, I love to go to places that are nice and just pack out my equipment and record.
It means maybe this year or for this summer, I don't know. Yeah, I'm anticipation for that. But a new album or something new to listen, to play on the radios, because I'm a DJ. It's the reason why I ask you that.
As soon something new will be there, I'll let you know. Promised.
Yes, thanks very much. But I've forgotten to ask Veronique and you. Veronique, where are your main influences? Have you been influenced by singing, by singers, or by musicians?
No, simply I think my influences at basement are, of course, American music, but blues overall. Though I love every style of music, that means, you know, music is only a question of vibrations. There can be a classic one or jazz one or any music, but with your soul you just feel if you like it or not. That's a vibration, you know. And
Yeah,
it's in
yes.
your okay. So, but the blues, of course, the blues is in me.
And Timo, I suppose when you was young, maybe musicians or guitarists or influence you, or you,
No,
you,
that-
you, you like you have
I
like
mean,
some.
that's so. It's the blues really hit me like a thunderstruck. You cannot call it differently. You know, I was like around 14 and lived on the countryside in Germany, where I moved back to 15 years ago in Bad Bergzabern. And back in these days, you didn't have any internet, you didn't have much stuff on the radio. And on a German TV show, it was like a music history of the 20th century. And this, you know, just 3 programs on TV back in these days. And there was this documentation, and then there was this one episode about the 60s, and they showed some Cream stuff on with Eric Clapton, and then there was a backstage interview with Eric Clapton by this guy just died last week with 81. I think it was Peter Rüschel who founded the Rockpalast thing, which was very famous in
yes, I
Germany.
have some.
And he interviewed Eric Clapton, and at that time I didn't know anything about that, but Clapton was totally on drugs and was like this in a chair with his Sunburst Stratocaster, and the interviewer asked him with terribly bad English, he said, "So, Eric, is this all improvised that you are doing here, or what is this what you are doing?" And Eric Clapton was like this, and he said, "You know, man, I got some licks," and he played like this, yeah. And I thought, Jesus Christ, this is what I want to do. Yeah? And so I started buying Clapton albums, found out so that Clapton didn't compose the songs, that there was some like musical forefathers like this black guys, and then, you know, came back to like Chicago blues things, and from the Chicago blues back to the Delta blues, and so on. Yeah? And so I was always into blues, even if as a professional musician, I played like everything from rock to country to soul to German Schlager to make a living. But finally, in 2005, I said, so now it's getting time to go back to the
It's
blues.
strange because Eric Clapton, and especially Eric Clapton with John Mayall, but the Cream, I was a fan. You can imagine.
Yeah.
And now there is a film about Eric Clapton. I don't know if this film is out in Germany.
It came out. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's not out in French now, but we are hoping. Did you saw the film about the career of Eric Clapton career?
I'm looking forward, but not yet.
And what I like today, you play 3 numbers, but it's very, very proof. Like you play drifting blues, it's extraordinary. And I think you have the capacity to have an unplugged cover album like that, and it's fantastic. I know you have the materials, I suppose, too.
As I said, and of course I'm so independent, as I said, so I can go down in the studio and can record anytime I want to record, and if I want to record an acoustic album, I can instantly, as I said.
It's very important,
recording.
yeah, because you don't depend to nobody, and,
Yes.
and you can do your own music and
Yep.
what you like. It was a great pleasure to welcome you. Great afternoon with Veronique, with Timo.
you.
I hope to see you one of these days again. Why not to promote a new things, but you're still welcome to this studio. And great thanks. I would like, je vais maintenant un petit peu parler français. Je vais remercier bien sûr tous les gens qui pour ce show étaient présents, bien sûr les techniciens. Claude, qui est le boss et le propriétaire de ce studio, qui fait beaucoup de choses. Aujourd'hui, il était à l'image. Et puis, il y a notre ingénieur du son incontournable, Alain, fantastique. On réécoutera tout à l'heure ce qu'il a fait, mais vous verrez, enfin nous on verra tout du moins. Et après, vous pourrez podcaster dans une 8aine de jours. Vous irez sur le site de NANCY-WEBTV et ce show, vous pourrez le voir et le réécouter sans modération, comme on dit pour certains alcools. Et puis Laurent, bien sûr, qui était donc à la lumière. Et puis on a notre public d'enfer. Alors on va les faire crier un petit peu. Last big applause for Veronique and Timo.
Thank you for the invitation. Yeah.
Alors pour ma part, je vais vous quitter pour aujourd'hui. Je vous retrouverai très bientôt puisque vendredi prochain, dans le cadre de Jazz on Air, j'accueillerai un batteur luxembourgeois qui s'appelle Michel Maïs et qui a justement deux musiciens, two musicians from Germany, et Cédric Henriot, un pianiste parisien. C'est aujourd'hui un grand musicien. Il a eu de très élogieuses critiques dans les magazines, notamment Jazz Magazine en France et aussi Jazz Thing en Allemagne. Donc je peux que vous inviter à venir regarder, écouter ce show sur la toile, bien entendu, parce qu'on ne pourra pas vous accueillir dans le studio, il est beaucoup trop petit et ce n'est pas le but. Et puis dimanche, on va presque terminer, il y en aura encore un autre show, puisque tous ces shows de jazz font partie d'un partenariat avec Jazzpot, qui organise un festival à Thionville tous les ans sur une dizaine de jours. Et donc, Jazzpot sélectionnera parmi les jazzmen qui sont passés chez nous, aussi bien individuels que groupes, donc le meilleur. Et puis vous l'inciterez aussi en votant. Alors il faut dire que je n'ai pas regardé les derniers scores, mais vous étiez déjà plus de 70 000 à avoir voté pour les groupes. Mais on va laisser un peu, puisque les derniers n'auront pas la chance des premiers, donc on va laisser un petit peu tourner les compteurs avant de rétrocéder à notre ami Christian Schott le résultat de tous ces concerts qui ont eu lieu sur NANCY-WEBTV. Alors bien sûr, sans les gens de la toile, sans vous qui nous écoutez, sans vous qui nous regardez, parce que ce concert, il n'est pas seulement sur NANCY-WEBTV, il est aussi sur NANCY-WEB Radio, on ne serait rien, c'est vous qui faites notre succès. Et donc un grand merci à vous, encore un grand merci à nos amis qui étaient là, et rendez-vous vendredi prochain.
The beat goes on. The beat goes on. The beat goes on.